Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Oliver's musical genius in search of the perfect jam. This is the channel where I practice for at least 10 minutes on every single video as I progress towards 10,000 hours of public practicing. This video is brought to you by GetYouSomeProductions.com, my music production company and podcast. This video is also brought to you by GetYouSomeGuitar.com, my guitar lesson website. Links in the description for both if you want to learn how to play guitar like me. If you want to hear cool interviews and things, GetYouSomeProductions.com. If you want to learn guitar techniques, learn how to play guitar the way I play guitar, GetYouSomeGuitar.com. So today is a weekend day. I'm actually just working all day, doing stuff, and I'm taking little breaks here. And I have the Casey Means Surgeon General appointment hearing or nomination hearing because I'm interested in that stuff. So while I'm watching it, I'm going to noodle. While I'm watching it and listening to it, I'm going to noodle on guitar and get some practice in, mostly, probably Pat Martino inspired linear expression style licks, maybe some what? Maybe some scale, bebop scale, arpeggio practice, too.
You came in just as I walked. The Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions will please come to order. Dr. Means, you came in just as I walked away, so greetings. I'm sorry to have missed shaking hands down there. Thanks for appearing before the committee and for your willingness to serve the people of the United States and this administration. And by the way, congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
It gives you a great perspective on life, and I trust all is well. And for the diocese on both sides, we'll take a break at 11 to allow Dr. Means to care for her child. So just a 15-minute break at 11. Just for that. You'll be the nation's doctor. We've got some serious health problems in our country. High rates of mental health and substance use disorders, widespread chronic disease, reemergence of deadly outbreaks, which are preventable by safe, effective vaccines, but unfortunately there's been a lot of promotion of vaccine skepticism. At the same time, many Americans have lost faith in public health leaders since the COVID-19 pandemic. And families can be confused by the whiplash of conflicting medical guidance. President Trump is committed to rebuilding trust in our health institutions and restoring radical transparency, and that should be how we protect children's health. If confirmed, Dr. Means, you'll have an important platform as the nation's doctor. Americans will look to you for clear medical guidance and direction to protect and promote families' health. Your writings express concern regarding chronic disease, and you speak to mothers and their families. The Surgeon General needs to be an effective and truthful communicator, a calming voice of reason, a steady hand of experience at a time when so many, for whatever reason, sow distrust and confusion. The Surgeon General must be someone who can execute on President Trump's commitment to restoring confidence in public health and to assure the American people that our institutions are making science-based decisions rooted in data that puts families' health first. This is especially important as HHS undergoes substantial personnel and policy changes. Dr. Means, it should be your mission and the mission of every HHS official to restore stability and assure Americans that protecting health is the top priority. I look forward to learning more about your public health priorities and views. With that, I recognize Senator Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Dr. Means, for being here. Congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
Today, we are considering President Trump's nominee to be the next Surgeon General of the United States. The Surgeon General is considered the nation's doctor, a trusted leader who tells the American people the truth about science and medicine. Previous Surgeon Generals have warned the American people over the years about the dangers of smoking, drunk driving, loneliness, providing recommendations based on scientific evidence, not ideology. Dr. Means, you have made it clear to us that you believe it's time to, quote unquote, make America healthy again. That is a great slogan that I expect that everybody up here agrees with. In America today, we have a very unhealthy society, and there are a lot of reasons for that. The chairman mentioned some of them. But perhaps the most important reason is that we have a healthcare system that is broken, that is dysfunctional, and in fact is very cruel. In America today, we spend over $5 trillion a year on healthcare. Believe it or not, that is more than $15,000 for every man, woman, and child in our nation, twice as much per person of nearly any other major country. And yet, despite that huge expenditure, we remain the only major nation on earth that does not guarantee health care to all people as a human right. The result? Over 85 million Americans are uninsured or underinsured. More than 500,000 Americans go bankrupt due to medically related debt, and 68,000 Americans die every year because they cannot afford to see a doctor. If anybody in the world thinks that that is a rational healthcare system, you're living on another planet. In terms of life expectancy, we live 4 years shorter on average than people in other countries. As unacceptable as that is, if you are working class in this country, you can expect to die 7 years earlier on average than if you're in the top 1%. Further, as bad as our overall healthcare system is, our primary healthcare system is even worse. Today, tens of millions of people live in a community where they cannot find a doctor, a dentist, or a psychologist, even when they have decent insurance, while others wait months to get seen. Yes, Mr. Chairman, we must make America healthy again. Unfortunately, the problem is that since coming into office, President Trump and Secretary Kennedy have done the exact opposite. As a result of massive cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act, 15 million people will be losing the health care they had. Studies suggest that when you throw 15 million Americans off of health care and make over $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid and the ACA, some 50,000 of our fellow Americans will die unnecessarily each and every year. Secretary Kennedy and the Trump administration continue to spread dangerous conspiracy theories about vaccines, making it harder for Americans to protect their children from deadly diseases. I am having a hard time understanding how any of this will make America healthy again. In my view, we need a Surgeon General who has the courage to take on President Trump and Secretary Kennedy and say, no, it is wrong to throw 15 million off of health care. It's wrong to double premiums for 20 million more Americans. It's wrong to spread misinformation about vaccines. And that's just not me talking. That's precisely what 6 former Surgeon Generals, 3 Republicans, 3 Democrats who served under Trump, Obama, George W. Bush, Clinton, and George H.W. Bush have told us. In an op-ed they wrote in the Washington Post, that's what these guys wrote. A few months ago they said, quote, the actions of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. are endangering the health of the nation. He has rejected science, misled the public, and compromised the health of Americans, end quote. That is, Republicans and Democratic former Surgeon Generals. So, Mr. Chairman, there is a lot to be discussed, but I have very serious questions about the ability of Dr. Means to be the kind of Surgeon General this country needs. Thank you very much.
Dr. Marshall will introduce the nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm certainly humbled and honored today to introduce Dr. Casey Means. I want to thank you for joining us here this week. I'm especially glad we're able to hold this meeting, which was long overdue. But being in labor is one of the best excuses we've had to delay a hearing. So congratulations to you, your family. We hope baby boy Phoenix, 17 weeks old today, is doing great. And again, we appreciate you being here. As my colleagues have already said, today nearly 8 in 10 adults, representing almost 200 million people in this country, live with at least one chronic disease: obesity, diabetes, heart disease, hypertension. Our children, the pride of this nation, the situation is equally alarming. Approximately 20% of our youth are obese. 1 in 3 adolescents age 12 to 17 have pre-diabetes, 1 in 3. And when it comes to our mental health, at least 1 in 5 American adults, 60 million people experience some form of mental illness each year. Those are epidemic numbers. We need a Surgeon General, the nation's doctor, to guide us back to health, mobilizing science-based strategies to prevent disease, promote wellness, and address these epidemics head-on. The Surgeon General serves as our country's chief health educator, but more than an educator, a coach, a cheerleader, providing evidence-based guidance to improve health and respond to crises while leading the U.S. Public Health Service Commission Corps and advising on key policies. Over the course of this process, I've truly enjoyed reading Dr. Means' books, her publications, and getting to know her, and hearing her thoughtful vision for improving the health of Americans. Dr. Casey Means is uniquely qualified, Stanford-trained physician who began surgical training at Oregon Health and Science University, where she excelled in clinical performance and patient care for underserved populations before leaving that traditional system. Like many of us, she was disillusioned by its focus on treating symptoms versus addressing the real causes. She left it to champion preventive metabolic health. She co-founded Levels Health, using innovative glucose monitoring to empower metabolic health insights, and authored the best-selling book, Good Energy, which I'd recommend everybody on this committee to read to better understand exactly who she is. She offered science-based strategies to prevent chronic illnesses through lifestyle changes. Dr. Means brings a forward-thinking vision focused on prevention, innovation, and patient empowerment. She is a proven communicator. She's appeared on over 200 podcasts. She's a faculty course director at Stanford. She's been featured in articles in the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, New York Times. She inspires, educates on complex health issues. She's poised to shift us from reactive sick care to proactive health care, emphasizing metabolic health to truly make America healthy again.